Welcome to week 50 of the £1 a day challenge. If you remember from last week, I finally got my first ever beach clothing print on demand store ready, and it's live. So now bringing this to the perspective for you, if you're starting your first website and it's just gone live now, the next tricky part is to get it seen. And not just that, but to get it seen by the right customers, the customers who are most likely to buy from your website and enjoy what you give them. Now, obviously I'm sharing my journey of trying to reach financial freedom, so I don't claim to have all the answers here, but I'm going to share from my perspective and everything that I'm doing and everything that I've learned so far, and I'm just going to share with you for what are the next steps for when your website is finally live. What do you do there to make sure it gets seen, and how do you market it to get the right customers to your business? So the first thing you want to know is that there are two types of ways of getting customers or traffic to your website, and this is organic traffic, and this is traffic which you don't pay for, so you reel them in just by giving them useful information and them wanting to come into your business. And then there's paid traffic like Facebook ads and stuff like that. Obviously, paid traffic is going to get you a lot quicker results, just because you're paying these companies money to put your stuff right out in front of the right customers. But the trouble with this, you're obviously having to risk your own capital beforehand. So for my journey, the fact that I'm trying to share from a perspective of a beginner, I'm going to start on the route of organic traffic. Because not always you're going to have a lot of money to invest in your business, so I want to share it from the perspective of that, and then share the results I get from doing that way. And then later on down the line, I'll go into paid traffic and see how that goes too, and how we can compare the two. So, going off on the organic forms. If you've been following my channel for a little while, you'll remember when I was making the Money or Concern website, how when it initially went out, the first problem was actually getting it seen by Google. Because there are so many websites created every single day and there's so much competition out there nowadays, it's actually quite difficult for Google to index all these websites all at once straight away. And this means once your website is live, all the pages aren't going to initially be ready to be seen by the public typing in any random search to try and find your website. And so to tackle this, I do recommend you go onto Google Search Console. This is Google's actual program where you can see which pages of your website if you type in your URL, and you'll see which ones are actually being indexed and being seen by Google. And if not, you'll be able to type in your sitemap and just send Google over to hopefully a bit more quickly crawl your website. Don't worry if that sounds confusing. Google does do this anyway, it's just doing it through this way might be a little bit quicker. And then relating to this, trying to get more views from Google, I've also got a blog section for my print on demand store. My print on demand store is about beach clothing, beach apparel, so I think if I do blog posts which are related to that, so what kind of customer would love to see beach kind of clothing, would also be somebody who'd love to find out information about what beaches to explore or how to keep safe around a beach. So I thought if I had blog posts that are really useful to that specific customer, then that just adds a few more pages which can be seen on Google for customers to filter in and just find out that website. So that's also another great idea. Just use blog posts or some other sort of page on your website, which can be another realm where you can just bring in customers into your store. And then the third and most important way of getting organic traffic to your website is probably quite obvious, it's social media. And for me particularly, I've been going with Instagram, particularly because the age range I see of wanting to be interested in my store are probably young adults, and these people are generally a little bit more interested in Instagram and Facebook, and so hopefully I'll be a lot more engaging on there to bring in the right customers to my store. And I've made a video on this before, I'll send you a link there just so you can see it, but the main idea of this is to post out regular content, so every single day, and every post is going to be useful and just aimed at that person to really find enjoyment out of the beach. And hopefully if I can bring in that whole idea, these people are really warm to my brand. And eventually, over time, I'll build trust and that following will grow on Instagram, and then that'll bring in more organic traffic into my website. And obviously that means the more trust and followers that you get onto your website, the more sales you're going to get. So just give as much as you can in value, and hopefully it'll pay dividends in the long run. So after all this, how have I done with my own website? Well, obviously it's only been live for about 3 or 4 days now, but I'm still yet to get any sales. And I think this is a testament to what I was saying in last week's video, that when you start a business, you can't really expect it just to boom straight off. Because there's so many businesses out there already and there's so much competition, it's difficult to build that trust and to get seen initially. So probably the key point, which is probably a little bit late if you already created the website, but is to really find a business you're passionate in. Because if you're not, you're going to really struggle through these first few months where you're just trying to build the brand and it feels really slow progress to begin with, especially if you're growing organically. And so I'm trying to stick to what I'm saying here, and I'm really enjoying the process of what I'm building, and I'm just going to stick to this process to show you that hopefully eventually it will work. I won't rely on paid traffic for a little while, just to give you a good perspective of how that might work for your business. And so that's what I plan to do. I'll keep going on with this, posting every single day on Instagram, creating blog posts, and just optimizing for SEO for hopefully to be found on Google. And hopefully over time I'll be patient and keep working hard, and then more and more of a trusting following will come into the website and hopefully more sales. But we'll see how that goes, and obviously, like always, I'll be updating you every week on how that goes. If I learn something new, or if something works, or something definitely doesn't, I will let you know every single thing. So if that sounds interesting to you, please do subscribe to this channel. I'd definitely appreciate the support.